Hi, this is Gautam Murada from Finance Express, and today I am going to show you an exclusive news which is coming from RBI and which has made non-bank lenders and housing financiers surprised.
Yes, this is the exclusive news which is coming from RBI. RBI proposes regulatory parity between non-bank lenders and housing financiers. If we see from the report, the RBI has proposed to introduce greater parity between norms and housing financiers and non-bank lenders 10 months after it received direct regulatory control of the farmer. According to the report, as part of a set draft guidelines that the central bank released on Wednesday, it has proposed new definition for companies which can qualify as housing financiers. Accordingly, any company in which 50% of its outstanding loans are towards asset which qualify for housing can be classified as a housing financier. About 75% of such loans will have to be towards individual housing loans, according to the guidelines. As per the report, first is loans to individuals or group of individuals, including cooperative societies, for construction of or purchase of new dwelling units. Loans to individual for purchase of old dwelling units. Loans to individual for purchasing old or new dwelling units by mortgaging existing dwelling units. Loans to individual for purchase of plots for construction of residential dwelling units, providing a declaration is obtained from borrower that they intend to construct a house on the plot within a period of 3 years from the date of availing of the loan. And the fourth one is lending to individual for renovation of the construction of existing dwelling units. And also there are some categories like public agencies including state housing boards or for construction of residential dwelling units, or corporate or government agencies through loan for employees housing, loans for construction of educational, health, social, cultural or other institutions or centers which are a part of housing project in the same complex. And another loan is like loans for construction of houses and related infrastructure within the same area. These are the categories. And now the classification housing lenders. As per the report, RBI at present classifies NBFC as systematically important and systematically not important based on their asset size. If you see from the report, in case of housing financier 2, the regulator has proposed that non-deposit taking housing lenders with asset of rupees 500 crore and all deposit taking housing financiers shall be classified as systematically important. Housing lenders which don't accept deposit and have an asset size of less than rupees 500 crore will be classified as non-systematically important. And other report also said that RBI has proposed that it will harmonize the regulation for non-systematically important housing lenders with non-systematically NBFCs. They also did parity linked adequacy norms. If you see from the report, currently the RBI requires NBFC with asset size of rupees 100 crore and above to follow a liquidity management framework, according to which they must have adequate liquidity to cover for any short-term mismatches. This includes gradual maturity buckets and tolerance limits, liquidity monitoring tools, adoption of stock approach, and other also. The regulator RBI noted that certain major areas exist where there is considerable difference in guidelines issued for NBFC and housing lenders, which the regulator intends to harmonize in 2 to 3 years. This includes capital adequacy norms, where housing financier must have a minimum capital adequacy ratio of 12%, which will gradually raise to 15% by March 31, 2022. Similarly, in case of risk weightage, housing lenders assign weightage ranging between 30 to 125% depending on the type of loan. The RBI noted that in case of NBFC, the norms are less diversified.